Here we go, we're starting this one now. It's the one that I promised you down in Abbey Street. We're going to have a walk along, see some really old historical buildings and end up back down by the creek. There's a lot of old boats down there, and in fact Faversham used to be a boat building place, so hopefully we get to see some down there. But there's some lovely buildings in the street all the way down. Hope you like them as much as I do. There's a lot of historical plaques. Faversham is one of the most historical towns, and in fact its slogan always used to be Faversham, the town of kings, because of King Stephen. But Abbey Street got its name from the Abbey, and you'll see some reminiscence of it as we go. So hopefully you'll enjoy this one. Off we go. Here we are, we're at the top of Abbey Street. May get a little bit noisy, but this is the top, and we'll have a wander down, see what we can find, and we'll start with this little piece over here. There we go, right, we're starting here. That's the bit at the top of Abbey Street. As I said, there's the church, one of the actual chimneys as well, from the brewery that used to be here. Sorry about all the noise, but it's quite a busy street. And this is Abbey Street. A little plaque there telling us how it was saved. Telling us the people who it was responsible to as well. So we'll carry on down, have a little look along here. This is one of the oldest streets in Kent. It's a gorgeous place. Lovely old buildings, as you can see. Anyway, we'll get a few stills of them, and I'll put them up as we go along and try and name a few places as well. That way to give you a chance to see what actually is in Abbey Street. This is basically a sort of street. Abbey Street is actually. It's full of these type of buildings. A lot of them have got the plaques outside, and they tell you a little bit about it, what they are. And this one's got two plaques. One telling you who lived there, and the other one telling us it's an historic building of Kent. So, there we go. Faversham does have its good points, and some lovely houses. Here we have Arden's house. Thomas Arden, he was one of the mayors of the Cinque Ports. He actually ruled the Cinque Ports and was mayor from Sandwich. And if you look, there's a little plaque to the right, but on the left there's another plaque telling you this was the gateway to the Abbey. There we go. And the Abbey, sorry about the noise, was down there, hence the reason Abbey Place. There's a lovely little tree that's been cut down and made into like a little wooden sculpture. So I'll show you what that is, and then I'll show you Arden's house properly with a decent photo. Bit of a famous pub this, for more reasons than one. A member of my family used to run this. Old pub of Faversham. Used to be called the Thieves' Den. I wouldn't have a clue why. But anyway, lovely pub. And now we're going to walk down, see where all the boats are, and where the shipbuilding used to take place in Faversham. quick one. All these little units here used to hold bits and pieces that the boats brought in. Now as kids we used to come down here, and when they was unloading the grain, or loading the grain ready to go on the barges, there used to be grain all around there. So we used to come and get it, keep it for the rabbits. Or, if you was really lucky, some of it was good enough. We never told Mum where we got it. We'd sit out the back with a big old pestle and mortar type thing, grind it up and get a bit of flour. But that's back in the sort of 60s really. You'd never dream of doing that nowadays. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Here we are, we're down at Standard Quay. You still get all the barges and the older boats here. But across the water, just there where those new houses was where the boat building used to take place. Faversham had a shipyard, well famous for actually being known as a sideways launch. When we were kids, we used to come and stand this side, watch the launch, and as the boat went out, and it was, you've got to remember, it was always a very high tide, we used to get soaked. Loved every minute of it. Childhood innocence, I suppose. Anyway, now they've got them monstrosities of houses there. But carry on, and we look up there, and there's Faversham Oyster Company there with the old sailing barge. Now, Faversham Oyster Company's in the Guinness Book of Records, being the oldest company in the world. So, another little point to fame with Faversham. Another thing is, we used to come down here as well, as with the corn, they used to load sprats off of the boats here. Now, they used to go to people like Agriganos, Portillo, Higgs, to be made into manure. But they were still flipping around, and us old boys, being boys I suppose, we'd get round there. Mum used to have an old wicker basket type thing, and we used to be down there with that, getting all these sprats as quick as we could when they wasn't looking. So food was hard in those days. You know, everybody looks at you now and thinks, oh, they're doing all right. They don't realise what it was like back in the 50s and 60s. I know I'm sounding old now, but life was hard, and I think, you know, we've bettered for it, being honest. It's made us the people we are today. Need a little bit of hardship in life to make you appreciate what you have got. That's it, folks, that's about it for today really. We're ending up here, down on the actual dockside. Oh, that's not very nice, is it? That's if you can call it a docks. Nowadays, these old buildings here, they're filled literally by small companies. There's a butcher's, several other things really going on down here, and it's made good use of it. Faversham's an up and coming place, well worth a visit, so if you do decide to come, it's worth a visit down this way. Anyway, you all take care this morning, and we'll see you on the next one. And don't forget to subscribe. Oh, my head's cut off. Oh well, some good news. Speak to you all later. You all take care.